11 p.m. and these are today's news. Prices of goods are to be lowered during the month of Ramadan. More than 8,000 economic operators are taking part in this initiative of the Algerian Economic Renewal Council. Tonight we are recalling the results of the 7th summit of GCF held in Algiers last week. A successful summit indeed at all levels. More details and insights later on. On the international scene, the genocide on Gaza is still being carried out by the Zionist occupier, making the situation miserable and unbearable. Today's afternoon, and to denounce this atrocity, French people invaded the streets. All right, welcome back everyone to tonight's news. And as Ramadan is only a few days from now, an initiative was taken by the Algerian Economic Renewal Council. 8,000 economic operators have joined it and are committed to lowering the prices of their products. It comes as a way to preserve the purchasing power of Algerians. More details with Najah Tayar.
For the sacred month of Ramadan, more than 800 traders from various sectors have taken the initiative to supply markets across the country, offering a wide range of consumer products at competitive prices. These outlets and local markets allow consumers to buy directly from producers, putting an end to the speculation of middlemen.
Intermédiation.
Sugar is a government-subsidized product. So we have taken the initiative to reduce the cost of sugar for the sacred month of Ramadan.
Our reductions range from 10% to 20% to help preserve the purchasing power of our customers. Consumer goods will be available at affordable prices throughout the sacred month, including agricultural products and the food industry.
An initiative that reflects the national strategy to protect the purchasing power of the citizens while strengthening the economic and the social stability of the country.
The 29th commitment of the President of the Republic highlights the vital role of protecting purchasing power and the need to monitor and maintain it. We have almost 500 markets across the country with the participation of 8,422 economic operators. The various media, both public and private, are invited to support these efforts in order to provide a service to all those concerned by this initiative, whether citizens or economic operators.
A joint effort between the government and the private sector, a participatory approach that reflects the political will of the state to achieve effective and sustainable economic growth.
Still with the vibes of this special month for all Muslims all across the world, we're taking you tonight to two provinces in our country, Sidi Bel Abbas and Ouargla, to witness the preparations and customers' opinion on goods prices. Yassir Hamdi reports their satisfaction and optimism in this topic.
Just like everywhere in the country, the crowd invades the markets of Sidi Bel Abbas. We visited one of them, and the clients we met were attracted by the quality and the prices of the products.
It's a pleasure to see such affordable prices. I hope that it will last for the whole month. We're very optimistic. We hope that the prices won't increase during Ramadan.
Same atmosphere in Ouargla. Everyone is getting ready for the holy month. The inhabitants are doing the last-minute shopping in the local markets set by the public authorities. Markets that should be supplied in sufficient quantities of fruits, vegetables and meat.
Everything is available at affordable prices. It's a good initiative for all of us during this sacred month. Look at these dates. A few days ago we bought them at 500 dinars. Now they are at 170 dinars.
The Ramadan markets and shopping in a friendly atmosphere remain an unmissable tradition for the Algerian families.
And today marked the departure of the latest Solidarity Caravan, supervised by the Algerian Red Crescent and airlifted by PNA's Air Forces for the inhabitants of Burj Baji Mokhtar and Ain Ghazam remote areas. This caravan included more than 170 tons of medicines and food products. And the National Commission for the Observation of the Lunar Crescent will be gathered tomorrow evening in Dar el-Imam in Algiers province in order to observe the latter, making the start of the month of Ramadan, according to a statement from the Ministry of Religious Affairs. And we are recalling tonight the 7th summit of the Forum of Gas Exporting Countries held in Algiers, a summit crowned with success according to experts who shared with us details about the decisions and their impacts on national and international market. Rani al-Bahri.
In a geopolitical context marked by growing tensions at the global level, Algeria successfully hosted the 7th Summit of Heads of State and Government of the Forum of Gas Exporting Countries, in the opinion of experts and the international media. Algeria, in relation to its strategic position in Africa and the whole world in terms of gas production, plays a crucial strategic role in order to find a compromise between states and rather reassure all stakeholders, whether European or others. Despite the challenges and uncertainties weighing on the international scene, the summit demonstrated Algeria's commitment to cooperation and consultation in the energy field, a unique opportunity that brought together key players in the gas sector and consolidated Algeria's role as a safe and reliable partner at the international level. It is also a defense of good practices on this market, excluding sanctions, depression and interference. Algeria is currently working on a strategic strengthening of its geopolitical position, whether in Africa and other countries. Algeria can support a sustainable solution which also respects the economic, societal and environmental dimensions. 3 African countries have joined the GECF. This demonstrates the growing importance of this organization. The presence was remarkable, and then also another point is the entry of 3 African countries at once into this fairly closed club, showing the ambition of President Abdelmadjid Tebboune, who didn't stop repeating it and putting words into action. The 7th Summit of Heads of State and Government of the Forum of Gas Exporting Countries emphasized the importance of gas as a clean energy and global energy mix, a primordial resource that is demanded to increase considerably in the coming years.
On the international scene now, the death toll in Gaza Strip keeps tragically rising day by day, despite the endless calls of the international opinion and NGOs for an immediate ceasefire. Thousands invaded the streets in Paris today to denounce this atrocity perpetrated by the Zionist occupier. Najah Tayar.
The situation in the Gaza Strip is reaching catastrophic proportions as a result of the Zionist aggression that has continued since last October, with more than 30,000 martyrs and 70,000 wounded, mainly women and children. This is an unprecedented humanitarian crisis. On the humanitarian front, Sweden has announced the resumption of its financial aid to the UNRWA with a package of $20 million, underlining its commitment to the Palestinian refugees. This decision follows the suspension of the funding by several countries, including the United States and the United Kingdom, which will deprive the UNRWA of almost half of its funding in 2023.
Bombardements incessants, déplacements massifs de population, famine organisée, destruction des hôpitaux, des universités.
Meanwhile, in France, and following the appeal launched by La France Insoumise party, thousands of French people were found in Place de la République shouting, "We are all Palestinians." In the occupied West Bank, the mass arrests of Palestinians continue, with more than 7,500 people arrested since the beginning of the aggression in Gaza Strip. This policy of collective punishment by the Zionist occupation forces is exasperating the plight of the Palestinians and risking to drive the whole region into a spiral of unusual violence.
For its part, the UN Security Council called for an immediate ceasefire in Sudan during the month of Ramadan as famine threatens millions of people in the country. The resolution, adopted by 14 votes, calls on all parties of the conflict to seek a lasting resolution through dialogue. The resolution comes after the African Union called for a comprehensive ceasefire in Sudan amid the month of Ramadan. And we're ending today's news with the second edition of Algiers ski and snowboard competition. Around 40 participants headed to the heights of Tikishda, totally covered in snow. All the details with Rani Al-Bahri.
Islam, a board sports enthusiast, is preparing to get back on his board after 4 years of his last competition. Barely arriving on site, he prepares his equipment and head for the ski slope.
Avant de pratiquer le snowboard.
Before practicing snowboarding, there is a lot of equipment to be prepared. Of course, special equipment for snow. We have special clothing. It's waterproof clothing, specialized for snow. It's something warm which protects against cold. Before starting their session, a first challenge faces participants who will have to go up to the starting area on foot. Here, they can't use ski boards. The slope is a little steep, so they will climb gradually until they arrive. You have to carefully check the safety measures, put on a helmet and stand up.
3, 2, 1, go!
After a short warm-up session, the competition kicks off between skiers and snowboarders. Each participant is entitled to 2 rounds. The best time achieved during these 2 attempts will be retained in the ranking. We had more than 45 participants from different clubs from Algiers, Bouira and other regions. The departure was very difficult, but it's okay, we managed to get through it. Still little practiced in Algeria, skiing remains a discipline which is attracting more and more people, thus offering an immersive experience for mountain sport enthusiasts.
And we wrap up our edition with these splendid images of our mountains during this season. Enjoy your night, and I will see you tomorrow.
3, 2, 1.